So it is that time again. It's that time of the week. It's for my weekly fragrance review. Just a small peek at the fragrances that I wore during this week. All right, you want to see what they are? Meet me on the other side of this intro and we're going to bust it down. We'll get right into it. Hey, I'll see you in a second. I promise. Just sit right there. What's going on, everybody? You guessed it, it is your boy Trey Sense, and we got a little bit of a review, a little bit of a discussion. You know how we do it here on the channel. What we're going to talk about the 8, 10, 9, 11, 12, however many fragrances it is that I wore this week being from Sunday through Saturday. It makes my week, and I didn't write the day. Yes, I did. That would be March the 12th through the 18th, which will be Saturday, which is the time I'm shooting this video, but it'll be Sunday when you see it. I don't know why I set my notebook down, because I'm gonna need it. All right, let's get right to it. Sunday, which was a cool day here. I wanted to go with something that I thought would last, cut through the cold, rainy week here in Alabama. And I went with Bentley for Men, not the intense version, just the OG Bentley for Men. And I did receive several compliments on this one. The longevity on this fragrance is great. The performance on this fragrance is great. Received 2 or 3 compliments on it, and the compliments was, you smell good. I mean, it wasn't anything, over the top or any crazy reactions, somebody growling at me or wanting to take me home or anything like that, but did get several, you smell good. And this one right here is a great cold weather bomb. It's a little bit boozy, very smooth fragrance. I actually like it a little bit better than Bentley for Men Intense. It's a little bit more wearable, but the quality on this juice for the $30 or $40 that you pay for it is ridiculous. Bentley for Men. That was Sunday. Moving along. What did I wear? Monday and Sunday again was the 12th. What did I wear? Monday the 13th, I went to a staple house of mine and reached deep off into my collection and pulled out something that I have not worn in a while. It is from the house of Ellis. Okay. All right. Just looking for a little bit more name detail on this one. This is Ellis. Ellis, one of the Ellis has 3 different. There's Ellis Portfolio Red, there's Ellis 360 Red, and then there's this Ellis Old Red, I think is what it's called. It's a new one. This is just Ellis Red. Okay. And I like this fragrance. Very woody, very playful, very easy to wear fragrance. I don't remember getting a lot of compliments on this one. Red is a good name for it because it will give you that red vibe, not like what is that, Dunhill Desire Red? No. Or Juke? No. Way more woody. This is a great woody fragrance. If you like fruity and woody combinations, then you will love this fragrance. I used to see it at the rag store all the time, but I have not seen it in quite a while. And the levels on it are right there. So I've worn this. Oh, that smells good. Yes, fruity and woody is what you get from this fragrance. I think a lot of guys missed this one. Maybe because it wasn't talked about by a lot of so-called big time reviewers, but I really think a lot of people slept on this one. Nice smelling fragrance from the house of Ellis. I'm sure it's a clone of something more expensive. Nothing pops out in my mind, but again, what you get from this one is a nice fruity, woody scent. Very woody. There's some got on my hand as I sprayed it, and I liked it. Longevity on this one was about average for a Ellis fragrance. It did last through my shift, which is 5 hours. Nothing, again, I don't remember any compliments, nothing extravagant, nothing groundbreaking here, but what you get is a nice fragrance to do exactly what I did. Wear it to work and smell good. Ellis Red. I have Ellis from that line. I have Cobalt, And I have the red. I think that's all. And that was Monday. That's what was my scent of the day. Monday, which would have been the 13th. Okay. Tuesday, the 14th. I went with this one because it reminded me of a fragrance. And I love this fragrance. It did well. It got me through my shift. And it is Azzaro's Nighttime. Another, let me see if this is a parfum concentration. Nope, it is a toilette concentration. I paid like $20 for this 100 ml, and I'm glad I did. Again, this is a barbershop style fragrance that's really, really toned down, smooth out, and again, dare I say, fruity. Definitely, Nighttime is a great name for it. It doesn't have a lot of spice or anything like that, like a 1 million or anything along those lines. What it does have, it'll remind you again of the old school classic barbershop style fragrances with just a hint of freshness and fruitiness to it. I like this fragrance. I like it a lot. Again, the levels on it are right here, and you guys know I have a lot of fragrances in my collection, and I've gotten rid of a lot of fragrances. So for me to still have this one and for the levels to be right there on it tells you something. I like this one. This is another one that I think people may have missed on when you could see it out in the rack stores, readily available. Don't see it much anymore. I like that, I really do. It's masculine, but at the same time, it's playful. I guess it's kind of like a guy in his 40s, you know what I mean? Very masculine man like myself, but at the same time, I'm the biggest cut up and goofball you ever want to meet. You know, just don't take life too seriously, but I appreciate every single day that I have, you know what I mean? But at the same time, gotta laugh and enjoy yourself. And that's kind of what this fragrance reminds me of. It's a mature man with a great sense of humor. That's what I get from this fragrance. I definitely would keep it super, super casual, hoodie, sweatshirt, jeans, and a t-shirt, just super, super casual. Definitely not something I would dress up or wear to the office or any occasion like that. Is it a sexy, romantic fragrance? No, not really. It's just casual, easy, flirty, and playful is how I would describe Azzaro Nighttime. Moving along, that was Tuesday. And that takes us, Tuesday was the 14th, and that takes us to Hump Day. Wednesday, which is actually my Thursday. Staying in the house of Azzaro, staying in almost that same wheelhouse. Make sure this one's an EDT as well. This is Azzaro's Silver Black, and I mentioned it in the last video. And this one, this one is Nighttime without the playfulness, without the fruitiness. This one is straight up old school masculine, but it's toned down. It's really, really toned down. It doesn't come across like a Parche de Cartier or a Zaharoff Signature Per Home or a Paul Sebastian, something along those lines, or Dracar. Doesn't come off quite as strong as those, but it's in that same vein, that same wheelhouse, but just smooth and toned down. But you're definitely gonna think macho, machismo, masculine, but at the same time, it's just smooth out. And this one did perform pretty good. It definitely got me through my shift. I could catch whiffs of it on my hand. This is a fragrance that I think, especially for you guys that are above 30, or you guys that just want to smell like a man, I think this is it. I think this is one that will do well. I think women are gonna tell you that you smell nice. But it's not going to come across like you're trying too hard, and it's not going to come across like a lot of the fragrances do today. And I'm not knocking these fragrances because I like them as well. But a lot of these fragrances are unisex or can be worn by men or women, vice versa. There's a lot of fragrances targeted and marketed towards women that a man could easily wear, and vice versa. This ain't one of them. This is one of those that straight up man juice. And it smells good, but it does have a little bit of playfulness, not as much as the aforementioned Nighttime, but still. Silver Black, a good little gem. that I think a lot of people slept on when it was out in the rag stores abundantly. And again, $19.99 pickup for the 100 mil, and I am glad to have that in my collection, as you don't see that much anymore. And that was Wednesday, hump day for everybody else, Thursday for me. Now, that brings me to Thursday. And the scent I wore Thursday was from the house of Montblanc. As it seems like Thursday, it started to rain. But when I got off of work, Thursday was about 65 degrees, so I wanted to wear something a little bit warmer. I had a special visitor stop by the house Thursday. You know, my niece and her son stopped by. We got to talking about fragrances, and of course the first thing that came up was Aventus. You know, what does Aventus smell like? So I showed her the Club de Nuit Man Intense, let her smell the Aventus, and, you know, all of that stuff, and which put me in the mood to wear this one, Montblanc Explorer. Remember, I took my leather binding off because I bought this from an individual. That person smoked, and I just couldn't get the smell of smoke out of that flake leather binder, so I took that off. And what you have left is this ugly around the bottle, but still, the juice in it is still the same. See, that Montblanc emblem. But Montblanc Explorer. And this is close to Creed Aventus. If you have not smelled the old batches of Aventus, you would probably think this was spot on and really close, but I'm fortunate to have a 125 ml bottle of Aventus. And they smell better. They just do. I'm sorry. Creed messed up their company with a lot of reformulations, but this nonetheless is a good smelling fragrance, and this always gets me compliments. This gets me compliments, and honestly, Club de Nuit Man Intense gets me lots of compliments. I get more compliments from those than I do Creed. With Creed, what I get a lot of time is, ooh, somebody smells good. With the Club de Nuit Man Intense and the Montblanc Explorer, I'll get, hey, you smell good, you know? And while I'm on the subject of compliments and smelling good, listen, just because a person doesn't tell you that you smell good doesn't mean that you smell good. You have to understand, we live in a world and a society today where people are wearing masks everywhere, and people are not just as apt to come up and say, hey, what is that fragrance that you're wearing? I will, and there are some that will, but I'm just saying that to say, don't think just because nobody told you smell good that you didn't. So keep spraying on your fragrances. But anyway, you know what this is. It's a clone of Creed Aventus. Pineapple-y, birchy, slightly smoky, goodness in a bottle. Great for a 65, 70 degree rainy day in March in Alabama. But weather changes very fast here. That is Montblanc Explorer, and that's what I wore to work Thursday. Thursday is also the day I make my routine trip to the barbershop to get lined up, fresh. You know, boy, gotta stay fresh, right? When you're ugly, you gotta do every little trick that you can, you know. Okay, that was Thursday. Friday, as I mentioned, it was warm Thursday. It means it's gonna rain. So the rain came through, rained all night and most of the day Friday. So guess what happens in Alabama in the spring after it rains? It turns cold. It turns cold. So Thursday was the 16th, Friday was the 17th, and I went with something that I thought fit perfect in that cold, rainy, drizzly weather. Oh, I just gave it away. It is from the house of Dunhill. It is Dunhill Icon Elite. And this is one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. For one, I love the bottle. For two, the scent profile is banging. And for three, this fragrance sums your boy Trey scents up in a bottle. Why? I picked this fragrance up about 2 years ago at Burke's Outlet right after Christmas for like $10. It was either $10 or $12. It was marked down, yellow tagged at my Burke's Outlet in Corinth, Mississippi, and I was happy to get it. I think I found 3-4 fragrances that day, all under $40. I mean, all together under $40. And this was one of them. But about the fragrance, leathery, spicy goodness is what you have in this. And I did receive some compliments, and it was, ooh, he smells good. That was the compliment. And that's a big compliment. And it was a very attractive young lady that said this. And I mean young, she was young. She was young. She was like mid-20s. So And I say that to say, again, when the Icon line was released by Dunhill, it was all the rage and all the hype, and then it went, and just like it clicked on, it clicked off, just like a light switch, and people stopped talking about it. But I'm here to tell you that, in my opinion, I think these fragrances smell good. I still think they're worth the price that you can get them for, because you can get them reasonably cheap now. And I think if you don't have them in your collection, whether it's Dunhill Icon, Icon Elite, or Icon Absolute, which is a beautiful oud fragrance. The only one I don't have is the green one, Dunhill Icon Racing. If you have Dunhill Icon Racing and you want to get rid of it at a really, really good price, TreyScents@gmail.com. You know how to spell it. It's right there. Just add Gmail, TreyScents75@gmail.com, and send your boy email, and I will gladly take that off of your hands at a reasonable price. But this one went great on a cold, rainy day. I love this fragrance. I think it's super masculine. I love the leathery notes in it. I think it's done right. I don't think it's too much. It's not over the top. It's a soft projecting fragrance. It's not a monster performer or a monster projector, but it is one that will lay around on your skin surprisingly a lot longer than you think. You'll be catching whiffs of it all day. Now, it's not going to protrude and project all day. It's going to sit really close to the skin, but you'll be smelling this one for quite a while. From the house of Dunhill, it is Dunhill Icon Elite, and I like it. And I stole that one. Now, again, had a little audition, I guess you could call it, Friday night. And again, it was cold. It was rainy. It was St. Patrick's Day. So I had on my green. And I just wanted to, smell like a man. And thanks to my boy, Corvin Woods, I was able to do that. And I went with my decant of Pasha Parfum. And I like this. I like this fragrance. I did not receive any compliments, but that's fine. I wear fragrances for myself. I do enjoy my compliments though. But this one, again, man, this is just regal, classy. It just smells like a man that knows what he wants and knows what he's going, and does not care what anybody knows where he's going. Doesn't really care what anybody else thinks. He's in his own lane, and that's what I get from this fragrance. Pasha de Cartier Parfum. That's what I wore Friday night. Today is Saturday. I had some stuff to do. I had to get with my mechanic, get some ball joints put on my car. I'm glad I did, because them bad boys was shot. The top ball joints were shot. Oddly enough, they weren't knocking or anything, but they were shot. So I had to get some work done on my car. So there wasn't a need to go with anything super fancy, but your boy don't leave the house without a fragrance on his skin or on his body. So I went with something from the house of Primo. This is something I picked up a couple of weeks back. This is my first full wearing of it, and it is Blue Cedar and Cypress from Primo, or Primo if you proper. Now, this one, I'm glad I wore this today because I got to spend some time with it. Now, this fragrance, when you first spray it on, you get that cedar. I'm going to say cedar because I have no idea what a blue cypress smells like. Wood, but I pick up on more cedar. Blue cedar and cypress. I pick up on more cedar than I do anything. But here's the thing about this fragrance. To my nose, from my experience, it's not a monster performer. You may get 3.5 to 4 hours out of it. So it's definitely best not to pick this up at Walmart. I say try to find this at TJ Maxx or Ross or Marshall somewhere, so you can get it for $12. And at that price, you get a still of a fragrance. But as I was sitting in my car while my mechanic did his thing, I kept smelling it, and I'm like, I like this fragrance. I like this fragrance. I like this fragrance, but it was very reminiscent of fragrances gone by since in the past. It was very reminiscent of fragrances like Drakkar. It just reminded me of old school. I'll tell you what it really reminded me of. As I sit there, I was like, man, this reminds me of an old fragrance that I had and I sold on Macari for like $100, and that fragrance was Avatar. It just reminded me of fragrances from the 90s. Not, popular fragrances like Polo Sport or Aqua de Jo, but just fragrances that the average everyday working man wore, like Avatar and like Drakkar, or maybe Gravity. You remember that one? It reminded me of fragrances like that. So it was kind of nostalgic there for me for a minute. So I kind of had a flashback to when I was a young Trey Sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah. So that's what I got from this one, which put it in a whole new category for me. So I was like, okay, so when I feel like turning back the clock, this is what I'm gonna reach for. Now it does smell good. It does smell good, but it's just not. It's not gonna be the best performing fragrance that you're gonna reach for. But again, when you spray it, you get that blast of woods, cypress, cedar, whichever. And then, just that quick, you start to pick up on that vibe that says 1995, 1994, and I'm very appreciative of that. So this works well for me. It's got a special little place in my heart now, and I like that. But yeah, it now, with all that I just said, it does smell good, and it is one that I think you should add in your collection. But we talk about price versus performance. Get that at the right price, and it doesn't matter the performance. That's what I wore the first part of the day. Nightcap. It was pretty day here in Alabama. Absolutely stunning, beautiful day. Sunshine all day. That time change I'm really loving, but it was still cold, so I went with something very, very sweet to cut through that cold, and it is from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier, and it is Montblanc. And I like this fragrance. I really, really do. I like this fragrance. Did not receive any compliments, but it is one of those fragrances that I describe as modern. And when I say modern, that means it has one of two scent profiles. It's that embarrassingly sweet or that syrupy sweet. When I say that, you automatically know he's talking about, if I say it has a modern scent profile, you automatically know it has that syrupy sweet profile. And I don't wear this a lot. Levels on it are right there. And I got this was a gift from my boy JP, but I like it. It's a good fragrance. It's a good fragrance. There's several fragrances that I want to delve into. Maybe the next video I'll bring you during the week is my wish list, because there's several fragrances that I wish to add to my collection. I'm always wishing about a fragrance, daydreaming, but this is a good one. I like it. I think it worked well on a cold night. I think it's a great day-night fragrance. I really think anybody, any age, can wear this fragrance. Again, it's one that I think you should keep absolutely laid back, chill, and casual. It's not the type of scent I would wear to a wedding or something like that. Maybe if you're younger, but nonetheless, I personally would just keep it extremely, extremely chill. So, from the house of JPG, it is Ultramel. Now, with that being said, that is my last scent. That is what I wore this week. We're getting ready to start the week all over again, because tomorrow is Sunday. Well, it's Sunday. When y'all see this video, it'll be Sunday. So, happy Sunday to everybody. Hope your brackets are not busted. I'm sure they are. But anyway, guys, you already know the drill, man. If I haven't told you, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for helping to make this channel what it is. Hey, we're not the biggest guys on the block, but we do all right for a small little channel, and I owe that all to you. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. With that being said, you know the drill. I got to thumbnail it, edit it, get it up so you can see it. I appreciate you all so much for returning to the scene of the crime. Let me know what some of your fragrances were that you wore this week, and also let me know what you think I should wear this week. If I got it, I might just spray it. That being said, I love you all dearly. May God bless you all. And until next time, man, y'all take care. Peace. Happy Sunday.